Chapter 14, Definition Papers. If you want to appear reasonable when you present an idea, sometimes you have to define terms. You can do this in a definition paper. In addition, the definition can be the entire paper. When that is the case, it is called an extended definition. Definition papers are a special breed of papers. While they are a category in and of themselves, they can actually be any type of paper that we've studied so far. They must still have a thesis statement, order, and details. Just as the other papers have had the possibility of using any order, depending on the choice of the paper, definition papers may use chronological, spatial, numerical, compare-contrast, cause and effect, or chronological order. Your book talks about 5 different types of terms that need to be defined. These are judgmental words, specialized terms, abstractions, controversial terms, and slang. Take a look at page 313 and you will see a box that helps you identify what these terms are. The first, judgmental words, are words that reflect opinions. Words such as good, bad, ugly, and fair are all judgmental terms. Specialized terms, the second category or words, are terms that are usually known within a specified career or a group. Words used by lawyers and politicians, also known as legalese, is a great example of this. If you use terms like ad hoc, subpoena, and Robert's rules, you'll need to define them. The third set of terms that you need to define are abstractions. Words such as freedom, justice, love, and quality have definitions that differ based on your own experience and thus need definition. Controversial terms make up our fourth category. Affirmative action is one of these controversial terms, as is nuclear buildup. Finally, slang needs to be defined. Remember that you can use it as long as you're selective, but you must make sure that you've given your audience a clear idea of what you mean. There are 2 types of definitions. The first of these is the informal definition, or what the term means to you. By now you should recognize this as your connotation. The companion to this is the formal definition, or the denotation. The formal definition has 3 parts that must be included. They are the term, the class, and the general differentiation. The term is simply the word you're defining. The class is a general definition, or the category that it belongs to. The final part of the formal definition, or the differentiation, is the specific definition. What is it specifically that makes this term different from every other term in its class? Take a look at this chart. It displays for you 3 terms along with their classes and differentiations. Here you see that a garden is a small plot of land used for the cultivation of flowers, vegetables, or fruit. Lunch is a meal eaten at midday. Kindergarten is a level in school that children attend prior to the 1st grade. Let's take a look at these individually. First you see the term, a garden. Then you see the class is a small plot of land. Note that there are lots of small plots of land that could have definitions or meanings that were not a garden, such as a lot, a baseball field, or something along those lines. The differentiation here, used for the cultivation of flowers, vegetables, or fruit, tells us more about it, and it does restrict it to the smallest possible item, the garden. The second one, lunch, is a meal. Breakfast is also a meal, and dinner or supper is also considered a meal. However, note here that lunch is eaten at midday. That's the differentiation that sets it apart from everything else in its class. The same is true of kindergarten. Kindergarten is a level in school. You have your junior year in high school. You have 8th grade. You have preschool. Here we have a differentiation that sets us apart. Kindergarten is a level in school that children attend prior to the 1st grade. A few things to remember about the formal definition are, first of all, to restrict the class. In other words, be more specific. Secondly, avoid using the word or any part of it in the definition. If someone does not know what the word means, they'll not understand a definition that uses that word. If you tell someone that an overcoat is a coat that goes over your clothes, but your listener or reader does not know what the words over or coat mean, that definition will not help them. 3. Make sure that you do not just say something about the term. You must define it. In doing so, make sure that you include the class as well. One error that students often make is that they try to use the words where and when instead of giving the class. Baseball is not when 9 players, it's not a time. Instead, it is a sport in which 9 players on 2 teams get together with a small white ball. I could go on, but you know what baseball is. 4. Make sure that you give enough information to set off the word from all of the rest of the items within that class.